Okay guys, so today we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. But before we get to the quadratic formula, first what we're going to have to do is derive that. So we're going to start out with this ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we're going to complete the square on letters. I know, you're so excited. Anyway, when we worked yesterday with something like this, okay, the very first thing we did was we moved the 41 to the right side. So whatever we normally would do in this problem, we're going to do with this problem. So instead of being able to subtract a 41, I'm just going to subtract the c. The next step that I would do in this problem is divide everything through by a 7. So in this problem, I'm going to divide everything through by an a. So now I have x squared plus b over ax equals a negative c over a. Yesterday, when we worked with this problem, we took half of this middle number and we squared it. So to do that, we took 4/7 times a half. If possible, I reduced. I got 2/7. Then I squared it, and I would get 4/49. Well, I'm going to do the same thing with this, except now I have to take 1/2 of b over a. Well, it doesn't actually turn out to be that bad. 1 times b is b, 2 times a is 2a. So I have b over 2a, and I have to square it. So I'm going to square what's on top, and I'm going to square what's on bottom. Okay, make sure you square everything. I'm going to add that to both sides. Okay, so yes, it's getting a little crazy looking. But it's not that bad, really. So now I'm going to write this in its factored form. So it's going to be whatever half of this was. This goes in here. B over 2a. This is a plus. Okay. On this side, I need a common denominator. So that means I'm going to have to multiply this fraction by 4a on the top and the bottom. Multiply. I'm going to write my b squared first. I'm going to take 4a times a negative c, which gives me negative 4ac over 4a squared. Take the square root of both sides. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. When I square root 4a squared, I get 2a, because the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of a squared is a. And the final step is to move this to the other side. So I end up with x equals a negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, and this is the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula itself comes from completing the square. So when I go to solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula, I'm kind of taking a shortcut. So suppose, where's my paper? suppose I do a problem like number 2. I have 6x squared plus 12x minus 6 equals 0. So what I need to do, I need to identify my A, B, and my C. This is where my A goes, this is my B, and this is my C. So, sometimes it's a good idea just to write them out. A is 6, B is 12, C is negative 6. And now I just pop the numbers into my formula. And then I do some arithmetic. I think it's a good idea. Everywhere you have a variable, stick in a set of parentheses so you don't lose anything. A is 6. There's an A here. There's an A here. B is 12. And C is 6. Negative. Don't lose a sign. That'll be bad. And now I just do arithmetic. It's that easy. Negative 12 plus or minus. Don't forget this is squared. The square root of 12 squared is 144 minus, this is going to end up being a negative, or a positive, when I multiply 6 times 6 is 36, and 36 times 4 is, hold on, 144. So I'm going to have 144 plus this 144. All of this over 12. Okay, so now I have x equals a negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 288 all over 12. Now I have to see if the 288 simplifies. So the square root of 288. I know 4 goes into it. 4 goes into this 72 times. This goes 9 and 2. So I see these two perfect squares. So that means 36 times 2 is this. Square root of 36, square root of 2. That's 6 square root of 2. So I'm going to rewrite this as x equals negative 12 plus or minus 6 square root of 2 over 12. And then I can reduce, and I get negative 1 plus or, no I don't. Hey there guys, I ran into a small problem at school where my video was not working correctly. So I'm going to have to improvise just a little bit. Not too bad. I have a little program on my iPad that'll let me video some lessons without my face in it, because I don't have a whiteboard at home. Like, who does? I know you think I'm a geeky math teacher and all that, but really, I don't have a whiteboard in my house. I do have a little foo here who wants to say hello. This is Bella. Say hi, Bella. Anyway, on with the lesson. Okay, gang, so we're going to do another example of using the quadratic formula. Now let's remember the quadratic formula is x equals a negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let's work with an example problem of 4x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So the first thing that we want to do is identify our A, B, and C.
Now the couple is looking forward to making their promise memorable at the request. Meanwhile, as the tweet about that proposal went.
My A is 4. My B is a -3. Watch your signs. My C is a 2. So now I'm going to take my formula. Remember, I'm going to put in parentheses wherever I see a variable. And then I'm going to fill in my values. Wherever there's an A, I'm going to put in a 4. Wherever there's a B, I'm going to put in a -3. And wherever there's a C, I'll put in a 2. So let's do a little bit of arithmetic. A -3, or the opposite of a -3, is a +3. When I square a -3, I get a +9. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. And 2 times 4 is 8.
I don't see anything connected, but...
Sorry, my iPhone's talking to me. So I end up with 3 plus or minus the square root. 9 minus a 32 is a negative number. And it happens to be a -23 over 8. All right, so all I did was move my slide over. Now 3 plus or minus, I have a negative inside the square root. That's going to come out as an I. So the square root of 23 does not break down. Nothing reduces, so this is my final answer. So maybe you'll see that the quadratic formula is quite easy to use.